So I've decided to take the doors off and the fenders in order to do a better job of prepping for paint and to manage the logistics of how am I going to paint in here. So I decided I'm going to take those off. I'm going to do the body shell first. At least my main priority is to get the epoxy primer on. So take the doors, the fender off, do the epoxy, you know, the jams and everything, and that at least gives me some time so that I don't have to keep all this stuff, you know, sanding and resanding and cleaning it off. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to start here, the front door, and while these are off, I'm going to store them up there. So here's how this works. So the switch panel I removed. You disconnect the window motor, and then all of these cables have to come through here. So there are two screws that hold this black plastic protector on. Once those are removed, I think this cover pops out somehow. I'm going to try to keep it from breaking, and then hopefully I'll be able to feed the harnesses through the door. And then what I've read and what I believe is that it'll be easier to take the hinges off, or take the door off the hinges and keep the hinges attached to the body. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove the hinges, or the doors from the hinges here and down here. So I'll bring you along, see how we do. Okay, so I'm using the same little ratchet I used for the roof rack removal. Pretty handy, and it's pretty tight quarters in here. So I'm gonna take these are just Phillips. Maybe I can get away with just unscrewing them and not having to open up this plastic. I'm a little afraid that the plastic is brittle and that it'll break. I'd really prefer not to, so I may be able to slide the whole thing out, the harnesses. Let's see. So flat, I'll refinish these screws, and there seems to be a, no, it's not, a little clip on the other side, so let me see if I can get it from the inside here. Okay, so that's pretty easy. It's just this little bracket clips in, so that's easy. So I won't have to open that up. That's good, because I have a feeling it's a little bit brittle. And then I'll just start feeding the beast. Let's see if I can So the one thing I have to do still, this harness goes to the door lock actuator, but there is no harness plug. So I'm going to cut these and then use two butt connectors, a male and a female, just so I can separate this harness. Well, that was relatively easy. You just cut them. But unfortunately I don't have enough male and female connectors, so let's just see about taking the harness out. Let's see, make sure I don't drop the camera. Alright, can you guys see? Alright, so everything is loose. These are the, you see? These are the window and door lock controls that go to the back of the switch. This is the harness that goes to the window motor, and then the 2 wires for the door lock actuator. This square goes to the mirror motor, and then these 2 are for the speaker, which is long gone. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the audio, but we'll leave that for another day. Let's just get this thing out of here and see. So you have to bend it quite. There we go. That's funny. So all that crumbling was the accordion sheathing that was on the plastic, or on the stuff. Look at how brittle it is. It's the only thing holding it is the the old electrical tape. Watch this. Old plastics. So I'm going to try to find something. I'm going to clean up these connections later, but essentially the harness is free, and now all that's left is to 1, 2, 3, take these Torx out here. 1, 2, 3 here, and 1, 2, 3 there. So I'll get the right tools and do that. I'm probably not going to do that right now, but I'll come back when I've got more than 5 minutes left in the day. Okay, see you soon. Rear door. Now I wanted to show you a little bit of a difference. The harness back here is different. Obviously this part is broken on mine. That's the shield portion, but the harness itself is a little bit different. It's a little bit more finicky in terms of removal, because the door lock actuator is right here and the hole is right back there. So this harness takes a little bit of work to get out, and there's not a lot of room, so I'm gonna need 2 hands, but I'll bring you back and show you what that looks like. It's not going to be very exciting because I'm just going to be trying to get this harness out. Maybe the light. And it's weird because these 2 green and 1 brown wire go into kind of a junction with the yellow and brown wire that go to the motor. That's the window motor connector. And then there we go. So that's the splice, and there's another section of it that you kind of have to push through and around. Putting that back in is going to be a lot of fun. All of these little sections. Alright, and now there we go. So this is the section that goes behind the window switch. And now this door, back door, is also free. So I'm going to rewire these, make sure this is all nice. I have a feeling the previous owner these are probably worn, and so he probably just snipped them and tied the wire together. So we're going to do it right, but not right now. I'm just getting these doors ready for removal. And I don't know if I showed you before, but because you still have access to the window motor, it's very easy to run the glass up and down just with a 12-volt source. So if I need to raise them and lower them for whatever reason, that's how I'm going to do it. The Torx bits are T45. You can't see that. Can you see that now? No. T45. Anyway, T45. I'm going to try to remove them without using an impact because it's late. So let's see how much paint is built up on these things. This is the first time I'm sure that these have been taken off. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to be a lot of fun. Let's see about this one. I'm going to try to find a this particular bit has seen better days. Can you see how twisted that is? I must have used this one on something else and it's gotten twisted. So I don't want to damage the threads. Oops, sorry. I don't want to damage the heads on these. I'm going to find another T45 and try again. Let's try again. T45. I just want to break them loose. That's all I can do right now. I don't have time to take the whole thing off. Okay, good. 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 Now let's go lower part. A lot of paint in these. Good. Oh shit, right in the garbage can. Nice. Okay. All right. So all 6 are loose. I want to take the whole door off, but I don't have time right now. So I'll get back to it, but at least I know no major damage and a T45 that works. Wait, let me show you how I'm going to support the door. For now, this is my stool right there. So let's see if I can manage not to drop anything or break anything. That would be cool. Technology. Now that they're loose, it should be fine. 1. There goes the door. 2. Oh shit. Oh, I didn't know that. So this is behind the hinge plate. Makes sense. So this holds the hinge plate, something else to clean up, but you could see so that one's loose, and let's see how I'm going to do the bottom. I'm going to have to use one hand to kind of stabilize it, but let's see. There's one. 2. 3. So there we go. So that'll make it a hell of a lot easier to paint the jambs. I'm going to take the fender off. And because of my space constraints, I'm going to end up doing one side of the vehicle at a time, at least for the epoxy. So I'm going to do the passenger side first, fender, door jambs. Take this door off. For some reason they decided to use different hinges or different fasteners on this hinge, so I'll get to that next. But at least this one's off. Got to clean up. And that's it. So I'll continue on to the rear door, but I'll show you that in a different video because the hinges are different, and the I have to replace this hinge anyway, so we're going to do that separately. Okay? So thanks for watching, guys, and if you have any questions, send them to Scout and Boone.